Let's start again.
Yeah, let's do it again. Why not? Episode 351.
Like tape. We'll do it in 3 takes. Let's go.
Episode 351 of the Real Life Podcast. Here's what's going on. This is take 3. I don't know how much of that we caught on any sort of the recordings. I have 2 going because I like back up. We're brought to you by the HGA Group. We did it the first time and my computer froze, stopped everything. Okay, so we restarted. Did it again. Somehow the Rodecaster flipped off the table and then just started playing a bunch of random stuff.
To be fair,
what on earth?
Yeah, well, it didn't just randomly like flip. It was haunted? Teetering on the edge of the table. It was doomed to flip.
That's the way I set it up every time now.
Well, we might have to fix that. We're trying to rig a 2-table situation with a bit of a gorge in between, and somewhere in between those 2 tables in that gorge, the Rodecaster sits.
Chalmers has been dead quiet this entire time, probably livid that I haven't figured out my shit. Yeah.
He learned a lot about you this weekend.
Here is what we are going to start the podcast with before we get into this weekend. Wanye has a Wanye Jr. story. Wholesome.
Well, I had a story when this podcast started recording about Wanye Jr.'s first day of baby university, which you may call daycare, but we call baby university. But that was so long ago. He's in grade 4 now.
He's driving a car.
Like we've lost the momentum to tell that story. It is no longer current. Yeah. No. So this morning, Wanye Jr. began day care, whatever the hell you call it. And it is a tornado of emotion for Wanye Sr., because now my little baby is on his own, and I dropped him off at school and he looked like a little stone-faced of Easter Island, and he doesn't know how to walk and he doesn't know how to talk because he doesn't know anybody because he's been at home in this crazy time. And so he just sort of like pulled himself off to the corner and then proceeded to stare down everybody in his little class who are his future frenemies, his future peers. Who the hell knows who's in that class, but he's there with them right now. And so I'm like, one eye on the clock. I can't wait to go pick him up because I'm concerned about his first day as an adult.
It's just like Gen Pop, man. He's got to survey the situation.
Yeah, maybe he'll have the whole prison yard in his hand by the end of this.
One has to assume he'll be in charge. He doesn't ever say anything. He's like extremely reserved, but he's very determined. And I'm like, that is the profile of the guy who runs the whole prison block. You know what I mean? He's got other people to talk for him and do his dirty work, but he will stab you in the eye if you get too close.
So can I ask a question? Is this a preschool where it was like a registered time for drop off, or is it kind of a floating drop off where you can drop off at any point?
The baby university, man, you got to have all the children there for the assembly hour and they sing the song or whatever the hell happens. I don't know.
So my favorite part is that because there's a bunch of stuff that can happen, right? You get to see what type of child you have. And there's 2 types. There's the one that just wants to be away from you, get in there and start playing with the toys, loves the new scenario, you know, just could think of nothing more than getting away from you at that moment. And then there's the kids that absolutely will not leave their parents' sides. And usually that comes with a bit of drama out in the lobby. I'm wondering, was there some scenes made?
No, he doesn't cry. There's a third type of kid, though. Wanye Jr. is like a G. He doesn't cry. He's not a little baby. He's very serious. And he just sat there and stared at everybody and everything. And I went, bye, and nothing. Stared me down.
But I'm more talking, was there any scenes with other kids and parents?
I don't know. There was a scene in my own heart and head. I had to leave. It was a disaster.
Yeah, it's best. What I learned was it's best to just drop him and get the hell out of there. Don't linger.
I woke up like Thursday night and I was like, oh my God, he only has 1 free day left in his whole life tomorrow. And I was like, then he's going to have to go places and do shit. This is fucking.
Well, that's good. It's a big day.
Shit.
It's a big day.
Chalmers, when you call me, there's a screenshot of your oldest son on an iPad with a soother in his mouth and earphones. That's your profile picture. And in my mind, that was an hour ago. I took that screenshot because you showed it to me. And I was like, that's Chalmers' profile picture. By my calculations, your son is in the Air Force now. And he's doing fucking upside downsies left and right. He was a baby an hour ago. That means Wanye Jr. is 2 days away from being in the Air Force.
He's planking for 8 minutes.
Chalmers
is what he's doing.
Planking for 8 minutes. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Those Chalmers boys have a shocking core on them.
I saw the heart of a warrior there that day. I didn't know. Yeah. I knew he had it in him to be a part of the scene. You know, like my one son, my oldest one's a little reserved and he doesn't like to put himself out there for that kind of stuff. But the minute Luke found out there was a planking contest, he ran up there and I tried to.
He planked for 8 minutes.
Yeah. Let's set the stage here.
Minutes.
So we had some giveaways at our watch party out at the Tourism Jasper Fairmont JPL tournament. And the big prize really was an Oilers Nation hoodie. retail for about $75. Get your own nationgear.ca.
Yep. Or do an 8-minute plank.
Or do an 8-minute plank. So I said,
easier to buy one.
It was Chalmers' idea, I believe. So I went up to the front and I said, hey, we are going to do a planking contest. And we probably had about 11 people rush up to the front.
Yeah.
A couple of them, their form off the bat, I'm talking specifically about Red Shirt and our friend from CAG. They both looked like they were going to be
like
contenders.
yogi level. Like, I'm like, okay, they're here for the long run.
They were locked in.
They were locked in.
People eventually, kept dropping off. And by the end of it, there was a girl who was there who I think was a friend of one of the Red Bull workers.
Yes.
And Chalmers' son. And they went 8 minutes in full plank.
But Wanye, it's like to see Chalmers' kid, though, the look on his face, he was
Chalmers or Chalmers' kid's face?
Well, first of all, there's two elements to this story. Chalmers' kid's face, he was just vibrating because he wanted that hoodie regardless of the fact it was the last 7
minutes of his 8 minutes. Like that kid was fighting it the whole time.
Meanwhile, both of his parents are yelling at him to drop out of the contest because he cannot win the hoodie.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, you're not getting the hoodie, son. Like
that's really good, Chalmers. What if Serena and Venus is William's dad and talked like that? They wouldn't be the champions they are.
Yaremchuk specifically, so to just paint it a little bit more, during the intermissions, Yaremchuk had a lot of fun, and we did like a trivia. Yaremchuk hosted like basically a trivia for all the tables to win hats and other nation gear that we were giving away, just to kind of keep the mood lively while the game wasn't on. And this all came to a crescendo with the planking contest. And so right before the planking contest, Yaremchuk's like, okay, there's 2 tables in here that cannot win, the Oilers Nation table and the Oilers Nation table. Luke was at one of the tables and I was
but
like,
he's a child. Surely Yaremchuk, you'll give him.
But we let him, we let them, we ended up, because we had clear demarcation of their table and our table, we actually let him into the trivia and he won a prize.
He did. Yeah. I caved.
Yeah,
usually I'm a stickler for the rules.
Yeah. And so yes, I was yelling at him basically like I wanted to teach him a little chivalry at that moment,
Yeah.
Hey, throw it to the young lady,
what?
Give her a hug, give her the, be a man. But he decided that the warrior in him was going to come out and he was not.
Yes, man. That's right. That's the way to do it.
Well, to be fair, I think she could have gone for another 8 minutes. Like she was not raw.
She was solid as a rock,
shaken. And she
probably sleeps like that.
Like Luke. Luke had that face, that meme with the kid who's like sweating and looks like he's pushing one out in the classroom.
Got the vein.
Luke's face, he would look up and you would just see red pain. But like I thought he was bawling, but he wasn't. He was just putting in so much effort. And
was the other person a child or an adult?
An adult.
It was an adult.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then this is a child versus adult.
Like the whole room got behind Luke. Mm-hmm. It was so cool to see, but the kid wouldn't give up. Like I bet you he still would have gone. Like I think he succumbed to your pressure of telling him to stop.
Yeah. It had to weigh on him to have both parents yelling at him. Luke, you cannot win this. Drop out, Luke.
What on earth?
It was more of like, buddy, we love you. You got to drop now. Like I could see it. And then he gets up and he looked like he had just stormed the beaches of Normandy. And I'm like,
good on him for the good guys.
Now I'm a really bad parent because he's going to sit here and be like, sweating and red and I don't know. There was a lot of things going through.
We took him for a hot tub after. He had a good he got a hot tub after to reconcile the pain in his belly.
He did.
Your abs, bro.
Level. He's answering trivia at a genius level. What are you unhappy with here?
He's on the Oilers Nation All Abs team. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. He don't worry. Just because he didn't get a hoodie doesn't mean he wasn't fully fulfilled with new stuff over the weekend.
He didn't win?
No, she won.
She won. Luke fell. He came down 8 minutes in.
Wow.
Which I have planked once or twice in my day, and like 2 minutes is like running a marathon.
I've done a 4-minute plank, and I can tell you from experience, it is the hardest thing in life. Oh. But I did it. I did it because my friends bet me I couldn't do it, and I did it on the patio of a golf course. And 4 minutes was even like at that time we were like, okay, that's incredible. That'll never be beat. And I just watched 2 people double what I did.
The amount of things that happen when we go on a guy's golf trip. There was a 100-meter dash on the 18th, like not on the green, beside the green.
Like guy trip stuff.
I know,
though, right?
It's good. And there's
Chalmers,
always an injury.
Think about this, though. Sorry to interrupt. Chalmers, think about this. You did it for 4 minutes. Your son went for 8. You have a grandson, dude, who can 16-minute plank. Holy
Pretty much.
hell.
He's going to be the plank world record. I said immediately, or at the very beginning, yes, it was my idea to do a physical competition for the hoodie, but truth be told, I wanted them to do a headstand.
Yes.
I wanted people, but then we thought maybe we wouldn't have enough people because they wouldn't know how to do it.
We didn't have a waiver.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
just so you guys know,
I came to the crew looking for Wanye Jr. support. Chalmers told a story about his fucking cyborg kid who can plank upside down for 12 minutes. And that's talking about your kids on real life. You're welcome, everyone.
If you want to talk about, if you want to get Luke set though, Chalmers, I'm just looking up in September of 2021, a world record was set for planking at 9 hours and 30 minutes. So he's got some work.
Oh my God.
And that dude, the dude that did that is old too. He's probably like in his 50s or something.
How do you know this? How do you know?
Because I remember the story. I remember I can even picture the setting he was in.
Jeez. Okay.
You love planking.
Yeah,
no wonder your kids
I didn't realize you're a big plank guy.
All day you're training him to plank. You finally get him in a competition. You clearly love planking.
Yeah.
And you're telling him to throw it when you finally have him in one.
Chalmers was nearly correct. He was 62 years old.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
What on earth?
So this opening 10 minutes of the podcast ties in nicely to our latest review on Apple Podcasts. We were given 2 stars from Evergreen Fire, who said, when it's focused talk about the Oilers, it's great. 5 stars for that content, which occurs about 40% of the time. To Evergreen Fire, may I introduce you to Oilers Nation Radio? That may be your cup of tea here. This podcast is not ever going to be 100% Oilers talk.
It will be one day when they win the cup and they're dialed in and we're not distracted because the immediate is so amazing.
Well, yeah, on the playoff run every day, that'll be the only thing to talk about. We got to plan about what we're going to do, what we're going to wear.
So speaking of winning the cup, we're back. We are back.
Yeah, we are back.
No, a problem. We never had a problem. We were just figuring some stuff out. 7-2, we're back.
That Habs team
was
is just
Evander Kane all along.
Habs were terrible. They were god awful.
That's Sam Montembeault. Like he had a couple of good games about a month ago, and he looked.
His save percentage was like .625.
The Oilers only had 24 shots on net.
The good news is everybody on the podcast that was in attendance won a good little chunk of change on that game.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Montreal.
Yeah. That law was laid on the table. I was feeling courageous that day.
Whoever says don't bet with your heart is a fool.
Yeah, that was an all-in heart day for sure. But you knew that going in, it was going to be a heart day.
Yeah.
It was more don't bet when you're drunk.
That also worked out well for me. So yeah. We had a good time.
Our friends at PointsBet Canada say bet with your heart.
April 4th, they can become, they start operating in Ontario, PointsBet.
Yep.
Stay
tuned. If you're one of our listeners in London, Ontario, there you go.
A, you have my credit card and having a great time. And B, load up your PointsBet account with it.
So anyways, planking contest on Saturday night. And then that was the only entertaining thing that happened for the rest of the evening.
Because Tyler doesn't remember the rest of the evening. But I'm telling you, though, one thing, we're onto something. I think most of our events should end with some kind of feat of strength like that. Because that was an all-time hoot.
Well, it was fun too, because the idea was so impromptu. And then Curtis and for Sherwood Ford's like, what if we get them to go to do planking so that more people can enter? But what I didn't expect was everybody to come to the front of the room and cheering, and the vibes in there were excellent.
It was stadium seating, man. It was just, it was a vibe. It was a vibe.
We got the buy-in.
And you're shouting down your son, Chalmers, throughout this formative moment in his life.
There's an 8-minute video on Facebook. Oilers Nation Instagram homepage. Go watch it and you judge for yourself as to whether or not I was shouting. I was being very supportive with asking him, just please
give up your dream.
Let the lady have it. We've already won enough. The last thing we were at was the Oilers Nation golf tournament. And I remember my family and my table and my team and winning everything. And I was just like, my God, this cannot happen again. We cannot keep winning stuff. Luke, you've already won a hat. Please, just please help your dad out. Drop down. And like I said, when you saw him when he was done, there was like this part of you that was like, you should have protected him from himself. He didn't know what he was getting himself into.
No failure on Luke's end. You're taking the brunt of this, right?
No, Luke is a star here, and
he's a star. Hell yeah, he's a star.
Go check out the video and tell me that Chalmers wasn't yelling at him for 6 minutes.
The other reason he's a star is because we were playing in the pond hockey tournament, which was awesome, but a lot of pucks get shot into the snow. And Luke came and watched our games, but as you can imagine, with a kid who can do an 8-minute plank, he doesn't sit still for very long. So he constantly is running around. I disagree.
He can sit still for at least 8 minutes.
No, but you know what I mean. He always has to be doing something, like planking. Something of physical nature. And so he's running around collecting all these pucks, and he's taking them back. And like these guys that were kind of watching the games and keeping score, there had to be somewhat of an umpire there to make sure that everything was on the up and up with the game. And so, that was a huge help to picking up the pucks, and they gave him a nice little tip after, and they just thanked him for all of his hard work. So like, man, he was a champion this weekend. I was really proud of all the things he did.
Hustler.
He also grinded. Yep. Did not avoid the grind that weekend.
Did not.
Nope. No.
Are we gonna take this post watch party?
The hot tub was a lot of fun. Oh, Tyler tried.
Tyler tried.
Finally. Is it posted anywhere? We put it through.
I haven't posted it yet. I'm going to
finally recorded.
Those of us who
finally recorded our first few episodes of Tyler Tries. Finally, months in the making.
Okay. Let me be clear, because someone leaked the 2-minute extended cut video to Frank Saravalli. And let me tell you, whoever leaked that to Mr. Saravalli, I am not happy with you. That video cannot see the internet.
I love it.
It has already.
Is it the conclusion Tyler Tries?
Yeah, it was the
wrap up, the payoff.
The wrap up. If there's a video, and I'm not sure if it exists, of me trying muscles, then sure, that can exist.
And
what did you try?
I also tried red wine, and
he tried way too much red wine, and then
he thought it was delicious. Is what it
he tried. He
decided to part ways with red wine. I think that night
we mutually terminated the deal.
Yeah,
mutually red wine like a 17th century baron.
Yes.
Well, there was then Wanye. Then at the end of the night, he tried to perfect the extraction of said red wine.
Oh no, it's like grown up blood.
There was a black ops. Yeah.
Oh no.
It was one of my while we were FaceTiming his missus, I believe.
So one of my big
do not point that red wine demon barf at anything you want to hold on to, because it is going to be ruined.
So part of something I've always been very proud of is my ability to know when to stop. And I always tell my girlfriend, I say, Amber, I have
any
never...
story starting with that means you don't know how to stop.
Yes.
No, I always say, Amber, I have never been sick from drinking since we've met.
In fact, you were bragging about it all weekend.
Yeah, all weekend. Yep. And that changed, regrettably. I had a great time. I regret nothing. And she got a front row seat thanks to you guys quickly pulling up FaceTime. So I appreciate that. You guys are great friends.
You FaceTimed him yakking?
Well, we FaceTimed her before yakking.
Yes. It just happened to turn.
We had to make sure. We had to make sure she knew he was okay.
I think the confusion of seeing her on the FaceTime, the matter in which we woke him up. I mean, it all culminated in a lot of the room started spinning. Let's put it that way. And I think it might have led to what ended up happening.
Because your Remchuk got about a 20-minute head start on heading to bed, I think, or something. Because we came into his room and he was passed out. So I'm like, Tyler, wake up. We play in 20 minutes. And he got up and looked at me and he was looking through centuries, millennia of time. He could see through everything. And I was like, okay.
We play in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we play in 20 in the morning.
Wanye, just to give you an idea, on night one, so both nights we ended up back in the lobby of the Jasper Park Lodge now with their, I don't know if it's protocols right now or whatever they're doing, but they have a pretty set 11 o'clock is final call, last call for alcohol and food, but you don't have to leave. So on night one, I perfected.
You have to leave at midnight, just if AHS listen. We left before midnight.
We left before midnight.
Well, whatever. But I ordered 2 double Ryan Cokes and a bottle of red wine.
That was the first night.
That
the old
that was
Chalmers bento box, we call that.
Exactly. And then, so night 2, I think, I think that caught up with old Yaremchuk we ordered a lot of drinks again.
A lot of drinks, and then 3 bottles of red wine was part of the last call order.
Wow.
The red wine summit was had.
Yeah, the red wine summit was in full effect.
Good.
Your Remchuk had some things to say.
Summit.
Your Remchuk had some things that could say, well, he could say them.
I honestly
about the Oilers.
Sure,
of course.
Think of that 2-star review. Is 40% of your drunk ramblings about the Oilers? I hope so.
100% of it.
Yeah.
We also got him to try oysters for the first time, which was really fun.
Hammered drunk on red wine.
Yeah.
Boy,
mussels.
They're okay.
Oh, they're great. That sauce is great.
It was actually.
He wouldn't last an afternoon at the Newport Yacht Club. Your Amtrak, just in case you're wondering. Not an afternoon.
Can you believe he wouldn't dip the bread in the sauce one day? Can you believe it? Can you believe he wouldn't dip the bread?
The best part of eating mussels is the bread.
You wouldn't dip the bread?
Yeah, he wouldn't do it.
He was just.
I was nervous it would make me sick.
Well,
his mouth was all dry, and then he was washing it down with red wine. It was absolutely
eating
fantastic.
dry bread when you're absolutely hammered is a veteran play. Let's not get
Oh God,
yeah. The bread will soak it up.
It didn't work.
I'll tell you the one thing. That was a great weekend.
I had a good time.
First of all, the staff, the facility, the ice was all incredible. The people that were playing in the tournament were awesome. It was just, and seeing other people, other nation folks interacting, it was so much fun. It was so well done. And the weather was perfect. It couldn't have been better.
I can't wait till a non-COVID year when we pack that thing and we double or triple the amount of teams in it and just like totally turn up the jets. Cause
Chalmers' son puts in a 20-minute plank.
Yeah. Well, he's training. We will have a plank off and it'll be, you have to beat Luke to win.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I've got a meeting with the CEO of Tourism Jasper in 2 weeks to talk about how we're going to blow this thing up. Cause I think it's too good of a time. More people need to know about it. And I think we can make some things happen. And also I know we talked about that emergency spot, like those on the bench guys were great.
Yeah.
They were really
that
fun.
added to the entertainment of the event. But like, even after the watch party and we rip your Chuck for not being able to hold his red wine down, but he did a really good job hosting the watch party.
Great job.
It actually it felt like something, right? So a lot of people came up to us at the end saying, thanks for coming to this. Cause now it felt like something. You added a lot of experience to this. So yeah,
you have that voice, your Chuck. Like
he was
like
happy.
Top of the hour.
But also
he's doing air karate kicks. Like he just kind of, he just don't
Yeah, well, he was telling people off when they needed it. It was the best.
It was great. He ran the room. It was good.
Wanye, I don't think Jay sells that well enough. There was 2 teams there that had been there for 8 years, basically since the tournament had started.
Yeah.
And they came up to JR and said, like, this is the best it's been. Yeah. And a lot of it has to do with just the experiences that we had, the hot stove that they put on with the bench guys in Caroline, and then the watch party. Because like, if you know the Jasper Park Lodge, there's not like a sports bar, you know what I mean? Yeah. And we kind of created a sports bar, a huge projection TV in the Mary Schaefer ballroom with a bar in there. I mean, it was for everybody that wanted to get out of, like the main area of the lodge where, you probably have to act your age at most times. You could come in here and you could have a good time. And if it wasn't the hockey game, it was your Chuck entertaining everybody with his trivia. And they let the people that were involved in the tournament, let JR know just what a difference it made. Just those little things, you know what I mean? And so there was a lot of things that Jasper Park Lodge and CHE put on that were good, like really, really well done. Like there was atmosphere everywhere, a player's lounge, a place where you put your skates on, fires. There's a coffee and food stand with alcohol in it. Everywhere you went, there's music playing, there's atmosphere. Right. Yeah. But I just think that was limited to kind of the outdoor activity of the pond hockey tournament. And so what the nation ended up doing, and I think it brought the environment inside and allowed it to be cordoned off in an area where we could just be ourselves and do what we wanted. Because
now, Jay, Chalmers, one sec. Jay, when you're meeting with the CEO of Jasper and you're going through all of this, where in your summary will the planking be?
Oh, front and center.
Front and center, right?
That's good. That is going to be the core of the whole. Like the pond hockey is now secondary. Mm-hmm. It is what's the feat of strength on the second day.
Championship children planking, sir, Mr. CEO.
We should bring like a large bar and do, how long you can hang off the bar for? That'd be a good one.
We'll get our waiver.
Have you ever seen the peg board? Try a peg board. Somebody look up peg board.
Yeah. Those are tough. Those are tough.
Anybody that can get past 2 gets a fucking hoodie because that's how hard it is.
I typed in pegging, Chalmers. What?
Yeah, no, I knew you were going to say that.
The only thing that can make an outdoor.
Did you know that? Did you really?
I was waiting for it.
Did you really?
Wanye, I also think that you would appreciate the fact that there was, we also got to see Chris Chalmers getting to work when he was needed. There were propane fires outside that sometimes they were not acceptable to Chalmers. So he's getting in there. He's swapping out propane tanks. He was getting the job done.
He was the CFO of Jasper Park Lodge for that weekend. If there was a fire that was floundering, he was there, and it was amped up and probably too big in the matter of seconds.
Yep.
I just took away the supervisor's walkie-talkie, Chalmers, and deputized yourself.
Yes.
Well, yes, they were busy. They had lots of things to do. I just like to throw in a helping hand when I can. You know, you see a fire table with no flame. I mean, what's the logical response to that? You change out the propane tank. You see a fire up at the top where people are sitting around, and then there's another adjacent fire which is not getting any attention, and it's got about a knuckle-sized piece of wood that's shooting a flame up every 3 seconds. You don't just walk past it. Like, I mean, let's put some pride in these fires. We put some wood on it. We get a fire.
He said the catchphrase, guys.
Yeah.
He said, "Say the line."
There was this one fire where these ladies that were just hanging around, just like having a conversation, and just Chalmers just keeps adding to the fire for them. And next thing you know, they've got an absolute rager going right in front of them while they're just like sitting down and having tea.
My eyelashes.
I'll tell you,
you're not burning. And then the best part was when JR's girlfriend comes down and says, she looks at me, she goes, "Did you burn your eyebrows?" And I'm like, "Oh, probably." Oh, probably. I'm trying to burn theirs now. So can you give me a minute?
We have a certain standard here at the Fairmont, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Before we keep rolling on here, as you could tell yesterday, I wasn't feeling great, you know?
I wasn't either, so anyways, you couldn't have been.
So you know what I did when I got home? I laid in bed and I said, I need food. I ordered up DoorDash, and you know what I ordered?
Ding dong.
Tokyo glaze with double beef.
Dang.
And it came to my door, and I ate it in bed, and it was delicious. And I got 2 free green onion cakes with my order for some reason.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Delicious. And then I had a little bit left over, and I put it in my air fryer and ate it before I drove to work today.
Oh, yes. Air fryer. Yeah. I've got a, so I did the exact same thing last night.
Really?
I got home and I'm like, I'm craving Chinese food. And I'm like, no, I'm going to order oodle noodle as if it's Chinese food. So like, instead of just eating a box, I'm like,
you order like $200.
I got like 4 dishes. So I got spring rolls. We got starter soups. Oh, which was just clutch. Spring rolls, a butter chicken, a Singapura, and a ginger beef.
Interesting play.
And then just put it portioned out on the. I'm like, I don't know why I've never thought of that.
Yeah. All via DoorDash.
It is. There's so much food in each box that it can be done family style.
It totally can.
Oh, 100%.
I know. I never thought of doing it, and it scratched my itch.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I would have gone for did you get the wonton soup? That's what I'd go for.
Yeah, the starter one. Just a little one, like little guy to get me into set me up, primed.
Need a little hydration, little substance.
Oh, a little sodium. Oh, it was just medicinal.
Moving away from that, the rest of the week.
Good real ad, boys. That's good chatter.
Yeah. And it was, like I said, I actually sat down yesterday and ordered it. Amber had the Kung Pao.
I just had a Kung Pao the other day. I haven't had a Kung Pao.
Oh, she was still around?
Years.
Jay's girlfriend made that joke to me the next morning. She was like, "Did you talk to your girlfriend yet? Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yes, everything's okay." She thinks it's like hilarious. Me being a dumbass is the foundation of that relationship.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. It was so funny. You're out. You're doing your business. We're recording it, and we'll just use. Can I use a real name or not?
I said it like 3 times.
Okay, and you're like, Amber. They don't love me like you do.
They don't care about
me like you do.
They don't care about me. I'm not okay.
If you have the same relationship with your podcast co-host as you do with your girlfriend, that is a whole different podcast.
Oh, that was the line of the night.
Oh,
it had Jay and I howling laughing.
Did he unlock the phone for you in order to FaceTime her?
I don't know.
I put the phone in his face. Face ID. I don't even know if his eyes were open.
Well, he was there. You know, when you get woken up out of a slumber, there's a saying that they have for it, but I don't know if I can say it.
Okay.
Well, just beep it out. He looked like a And he looked like a deer in headlights. And so he's just staring forward. And so there was ample opportunity to put up his phone to his face.
Why didn't you just say deer in headlights? Because now I got to go back and like edit part of it.
I even opened up his betting account.
I just said first.
No, you did not.
Stop.
Did you say it again, Charles?
Yes, you did. Cannot unlock iPhone. Subject is deceased.
Yeah. Well, now they'll call you. They'll call 911 for you. I had to intervene and say everything was okay.
911 automatically.
Yeah.
So should we move on to some? Okay. So
I just also want to say that it's not like I was like out of hand or anything like that.
No, you're well behaved.
No, just
red wine.
You just didn't know how to handle your red wine.
And I was going, when we sat down at the lounge, I ordered a big beer, and then I made the move to Ryan Coke, and then I was drinking red wine. Like it was just it was just a bad storm.
You had a rock tumbler going on in your belly.
Everybody was on their best behavior except for his stomach at the end of the night. It's not a big deal.
We represented the company very well this weekend.
Yes, we did.
I even got a text message I got an email from the JPL and a text message from Tourism Jasper saying we were doing okay.
Good.
I like the way we all came together. It was
the video of me doing my business. Jay is wearing Bagged Milk's glasses, which didn't make a ton of sense. Someone left the lid from their Yeti cooler in my room.
That'd be me.
I have a pair of Jay's undies at my house right now.
Yep.
Those were my swim trunks.
Somehow the jacket from Curtis at Sherwood Ford ended up in our room, even though Curtis had never been to our room. Mine and Bagged Milk's room was just a mess.
It's sensational.
The first night we were both a little tipsy when we went to bed. We woke up and our door was open. So like just the screen door was shut and it was like freezing in there. It was, anyways, yeah.
We had a good time. I also learned this one I saw was very popular on Twitter, Tyler. Mm-hmm. The fact that you use the drawers in the hotel room, that was an unexpected move.
So
you're a classy guy.
You don't use the drawers? Wait. So there's team use the drawer and there's team leave it in the suitcase?
You never use the drawers. You got to put it back in your bag after.
If you're there for like a week, I can get behind it, but like 2 nights, so who's got that kind of time?
Can I explain? Because I am the same. If I'm there for like a couple, like more than 2 days, like I'll spread out usually. But in my suitcase, I had a large suitcase, and half of it was all the podcast gear and the cameras and the cords. And the other half was all my clothes. And I knew that when I went to go do the Sherwood Ford Giant pregame show out on the balcony, I would have to bring my suitcase with all the gear. And I didn't just want to like set up and like open up my suitcase and be like, oh yeah, there's all my underwear and socks. Oh, there's the Roadcaster. So
somebody's got a Bagged Milk game warranty at some point.
Yeah, that was weird. So we had a big box with all of the Nation gear and all the Tourism Jasper gear that we were giving away. And Bagged Milk, one of Bagged Milk's shirts went into the box somehow. And someone
gave away one of your shirts.
So I don't think someone took it. I think you awarded it.
I don't think I would have given.
Yeah,
someone.
You gave it in a package with like 2 t-shirts or like a t-shirt and something and 2 hats. I guarantee it because
it was included in a Chalmers bento box.
Wanye, it was a shirt that I wore all day playing hockey, and I don't know how it ended up in the box. And then at the end of the giveaways, Tyler and I look in the box. I was like, "Where's my t-shirt?" He's like, "There's no way someone took that t-shirt."
So I was like, "I won, but I didn't win."
Yes.
There's me. You win a Tourism Jasper shirt. The person gets it is just a plain black tee, no logos, and it smells like
it's fresh.
Yeah, it was ripe.
I got to go back to the drawers thing because I put my clothes in drawers in hotels, regardless if I'm there for 1, 2, 3, or 4 days.
And you've also lost more shit than anyone I know over the course of his life.
That was before I was pro drawer. Okay. Because I go drawer now because I put everything in one drawer. And then when I wear it, I put it in the drawer next to it. So I have a clean clothes drawer and a dirty clothes drawer. I never have to think about whether or not something I'm grabbing in my suitcase. You know what? I don't like to be away from the party for very long. So what takes you away from the party? Coming back and changing, back and getting ready.
Try to remember which drawer you put something in.
I make it so simple on myself that I just open the drawer. I grab something. I take it off, put it in the other drawer. Simple stuff. You guys should.
It's more like with you, Chalmers. It's like, oh, I wore a t-shirt to the pool, and then I had 147 Bahama Mamas tried to fight the pool attendant. And at the end of the day, as I'm in the lobby trying to fight the lobby attendants, where's my t-shirt? Nobody knows.
Chalmers, I'm more of a visual guy. If you put it in a drawer, it's lost.
Me too.
So I take out my pants. I don't leave it all in the bag. I take out my pants. I separate things so I can just go like bang, bang. It's right there.
You got to leave it around the room so you can see everything.
I don't see it. I tell my girlfriend this all the time. If I don't see it, it ain't happening.
I set up a clothes corner. Everything that I wore that I no longer was going to wear went in the clothes corner.
Yep.
Okay.
What
so
I
we
do
all
on
got
vacation,
our modes.
I wear all my clothes for my entire trip all at once, and I just rotate the outer layer.
That's smart.
So one day you'll see me in a t-shirt, and then I'm still wearing it for the next 6 days. It's just on my 6th day layer all the way in. You know what I mean?
Wanye,
that's the Joey Tribbiani.
Wanye, you're so right. I'll go down to like the pool in the morning, like when we're in vacation in like Mexico or something, and I'll have like 2 hats, a pair of sunglasses, a speakers, sandals, swim trunks, and a t-shirt.
Yes.
And I'll come back to my room with like 1 sandal, 4 Bahama Mamas, and my swim
But
trunks.
you have a plan. You're like, the speaker's with my buddy I met
Where
during
the
the day.
fuck
You'll
is
keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I never have anything. But oh well, you know what? Hey,
you live,
and
man.
learn.
You lived your life, and you continue to live.
That's right. So is there anything more to talk about, Jasper? I don't think there is.
We won a medal.
Oh yeah, we finished third.
We won a medal, finished third,
which is great.
Yep.
Hey, you finished the tourney 3-1. You gotta like that.
Yep.
My son Luke asked me if it was real bronze, and when I said no, he said, "Oh, okay, good." Because like I don't know if they could give away real gold, and I'm like, "No, son, this is spray paint gold. This is spray painted bronze, buddy." But hey,
it is the Fairmont, son.
It's what it means. It's what it means. It means that together we came together as a squad. And we figured out pond hockey, and we came in third.
Yep.
And if coming in first, if the guys that came in first had to do what they had to do to come in first, and we can name shin pads. I mean,
I'm not going to go that far.
I don't know if I want to be a first place team.
I think we could compete if we had a better strategy. You know, like we don't need to go as far as some teams did, but I think just in general having responsibilities on the ice and having everyone in maybe like a zone would have helped.
Yep.
Next year I'm doing full equipment. I'll be blocking shots. I'll lay it out.
If we get more involved in this, I am definitely going to advocate that there is a shin pad division because that will attract a certain ilk of team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they can have fun.
You almost need like A, B, and C, right? Like B for people like us who are like, semi-competitive, but don't want to go all out. A for like, the people who are there to ball, and then C for the people who like drinking.
But it's funny because like the 2 games that we played against the guys that were, there for a good time and wanted to have some fun, but we're still, decent hockey players. Those games, they start out, you don't want to be the hardo that's going crazy, but
everyone eases into it.
Just human nature takes over and you just start playing harder and harder. And it's great. A lot. It's so much fun.
Nice natural progression.
Yep.
It was a nice natural progression.
Before we move on to talk a little Oilers, give some love to our friends out at Twig and Berries. Their stuff looks great out on an outdoor rink or out on a pond, wherever you happen to be playing some hockey. And their underwear was the official underwear of our run this weekend at the Tourism Jasper tournament. So shout out to Twig and Berries. Promo code Nation15 gets you 15% off. Unofficial, official underwear. Because it's not like we had a deal. We just all wore our nutsacks because we love them.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
It make me feel
high performance.
High performance.
I didn't even make a nutsack joke, Chalmers. Did you have that down in your list of things I'd do?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not.
I just let it go by. I said, that's a sponsor. I'm not making fun.
So we got Stock Oilers?
Sure.
4 in a row. Hot damn. They're going. I mean, they beat
is the trauma Nashville? That's a big win.
That was a big
Nashville
win.
isn't a joke.
Nashville's no joke.
So is the trauma gone away from that losing skid? Like, have you let go of it, or are you still carrying a bit of it?
If they can stomp the Sens tonight, it'll be like a full circle comeback, because the worst loss, in my opinion, of those 2 losing streaks
was
when you blew the lead to Ottawa. So if you go out tonight in Ottawa and just beat the tar out of them, I will sit there and kind of go, all right, I'm confident in them once again. Because this is a good winning streak, but Montreal sucks. Vancouver, they had to come back from late. Nashville was a good win. Who was the first one of this winning streak?
Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary. That was, again, a comeback.
That was a game that was a game we didn't deserve to win, so that was nice.
Yeah, so like it's been a mixed bag, is what I'm saying, through this 4-game winning streak. But if they come out and stomp Ottawa today and it's 5 in a row, I'll start to feel good again. And it would also, if they win tonight, be enough to push them back into a playoff spot if you sort by points percentage, which is crucial as well.
Very crucial. And then they go to Washington, which is also sliding. Yeah, so like they can keep it going and going into the All-Star break. It's almost kind of annoying that the All-Star break's happening when it's happening, but
it is. I was just going to say that, and it is annoying because a win against Ottawa tonight is kind of something. Yes, you're right. That first one was painful, but this is one they should win. And so to say that I would say that they're fully back after this win, if we win against Washington, go into the All-Star break, that's when I'll feel a lot better of it. But man, is this poorly timed? Like it's
a short All-Star break though. It's only 6 days. Together. 5 days.
Well, I know it's only 6 days. And do we play right when we come back from it? The 7th?
Back to back.
We don't
Vegas
play
on the 8th and then Chicago on the 9th.
It'll be a good test against Vegas. That'll kind of measure, let us know where we're at.
Yep. Off the All-Star break, play in Vegas, and then you get Chicago, New York. And then that next week is actually huge because you get San Jose, LA, Anaheim. And those are the 3 teams you're fighting with for a playoff spot. And then you also get Winnipeg on that Saturday. Jeez. And that is also probably a team you're fighting with because Winnipeg's down in the dumps right now.
I'm just shocked Winnipeg is having the season they're having.
And the other thing too, the Oilers have 4 sets of back-to-back games in the month of February.
Yeah,
it's a tight schedule.
Very tight. There's a lot of hockey to be played. It's basically every other day for the next few months.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to ask the obvious question to everybody. And that is, how do we feel about the debut of Evander Kane?
I just want to say, like, when he scored that first goal on Saturday, the room, everybody started laughing. It was just like, it was
because
exactly
it was like exactly. It's like we all were talking about it. He's going to score tonight. Like he has to. If he's going to ingratiate himself with the fans, he's got to score or he's got to fight or do both. And he scores. And we're just all looking at each other like, is it happening? Like, is this happening right now? Like we're going to all just forget about everything we thought of coming into this. And we're going to all go and run and grab 91 Kane jerseys. Like
you can also tell who had a few shekels on that goal too.
Yeah, you're damn right you could.
A lot of money in that room on that goal.
Wanye, you weren't in the room. You were living your own life. You were feeling it your own way. What did you think?
Well, I don't know, man. Like once they're aboard, there's no sense really harping on an active Oiler, right? The ethics of it all and shit. I was fighting with people online. It is what it is now, man. Just like Connor said before.
So now that you've seen him play a game with Connor and with, the Oilers.
I know how a bad boyfriend works, Chalmers. I am a bad boyfriend. We start out very nice for the first 2 weeks to trick you, and then we flip it on you, right? You're like, this guy ain't so bad. He's mowing my lawn. This guy ain't so bad. He came over to my house and fixed that thing that was broken. It's not till week 3 we show ourselves.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If our third line can be that third line, wow. Because that third line on paper is legit. And then it actually put up a bunch of points.
And let's take that a step further. You recall Dylan Holloway after the trade deadline. You run Holloway, Hyman on his off wing with Nuge down the middle. Then your fourth line is McLeod, Cassian, and either Ryan or Shore. All of a sudden you're sitting there with 4 lines that you're like, that's a deep team.
Also, can I just say one thing? My favorite was the game was a blowout on Saturday. But Jay had bet on the Oilers to win by over 4.5 as a live bet. So when Derek Ryan scored with 10 seconds left,
Derek Ryan's biggest fan.
I was trying to get a Derek Ryan chant going.
Just the best. The vibes in there were excellent.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Good betting night and just a good night.
Yeah. I realized it's like the first time I've watched an Oilers game in a big group of people in a really, really, really long time. I think the last time I watched any sporting event.
Well, no, we had our watch party.
You had our watch party.
Yeah, but yes, I was. That one didn't feel the same because it's like for one thing, I had to go
pumping back the whiskeys though,
I wasn't plugging back the whiskeys, that's for sure. But
I guess the last one was like question for the game. Sorry, Charles.
No, go ahead.
Because my question that we haven't gotten to about the Montreal game, probably the most key thing that happened. The hell was going on with Carey Price's hat?
Oh, that's his style. He always runs a couple of hats.
So he just wheels around like a bloody Village People person who's the cowboy.
He even rolls cowboy ties too. Yeah.
So he's all in.
That's been his shtick since day one.
Doesn't he drive a pickup truck too?
Probably.
I think I remember this.
That'd be you gotta see it through. If you're wearing the hat, you're wearing the tie.
I thought he just watched Yellowstone season 3.
Yeah. I thought he was like, oh shit, my team sucks. What can I do to rally the team? I know what I'll do. I'll wear that hat I love.
Just to wrap up the Oilers conversation, if you want to roll into the betting world again, points bet. Edmonton plus 125 on the puck line. That's nice and juicy for me. I like it.
What's that mean?
Are you doing it?
I'm doing it.
I was going to call you later, Tyler, because I need some money in my account.
Yeah, I'm going.
What does that mean, your Amtrak, for those of us who aren't bloody Rain Man?
If you put $100 on the Oilers to win by at least 2 goals, 2 or more goals, you would win back $225.
Oh,
that's what that means. I also today did a little one of those little bet builders that you can do. I took the Oilers to cover the spread and over 5.5 goals in the game, and it's plus 230. Whew, that's juicy. Whew. That is juicy.
One other thing I learned this weekend is that Tyler will be in betting rehab within the next 5 years, guaranteed.
No, I will not.
That boy likes to throw some dollars on some shit. I'll tell you what.
He's working with El Chapo, and now he loves the cocoa.
We were doing an impromptu pod in the hotel room, and he wasn't even looking at us. He was just looking at his computer, just firing through bets. I respected the shit out of it, but yeah.
He also had himself a great weekend, though.
He did. I know. That's why it's like you can't really say too much about the amount he's betting, and I don't think it's the amount of money. I'm talking about the volume of bets he likes to make. He likes to put a little bit in a whole bunch of different spots.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for the edge. He finds the edge.
You got to find the edge. Yep.
It's the
got to find the edge.
Yeah. I'm also taking the Leafs on the puck line tonight and Barkov to get an assist. Those are my 3 daily bets on the Daily Faceoff Show. You can go read the betting guide there. I also want to just say
thank you to everybody that participated with the Q&As Tyler and I were doing on Instagram, both to and from Jasper.
Yeah.
Those were a great time, and they made the road trip a whole lot of fun for us.
Yeah, that was that made the road trip go by a lot quicker, because that drive back from the mountains can often be a hard one. It's an absolute grind.
It's disgusting.
All right. I'm going to take that money I won. I'm going to flip it into US cash, because my plan is to be going to Vegas for the All-Star Game later on this weekend. And I don't know if you guys saw, but the NHL has 2 new events this year at the All-Star Skills Competition.
Yes, they do.
The first one, I'll explain them here. The first one, the players are going to go by boat to the middle of the Bellagio fountain, and they are going to stand on little platforms and shoot pucks at targets while
the way that God intended.
While the wind and water is blowing around, they're going to be trying to pick off targets on the water at the Bellagio. The other event is going to see players on the Las Vegas Strip facing a board, and this board has massive cards on it, like playing cards. And the players standing there will have to nail the targets and try to get as close to 21 as they can without going over in the least amount of shots. So they basically play a hand of blackjack by shooting the puck at the target.
Vegas just you can't compete with Vegas.
They got it.
They just get it.
As a lot of people are pointing out, the skills competition is going to be sponsored by DraftKings. And this is funny because remember when Vegas came into the league, there was the talk that the NHL told them you can't name your team the Aces because it's too closely tied with gambling.
Yeah.
God.
Flash forward
Las
to
Vegas DraftKings
3 or 4 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Players playing blackjack in the skills competition.
That escalated
in Vegas.
quickly.
In Vegas, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. How good is Vegas
how it
this
changes.
weekend? Got the Pro Bowl and the NHL All-Star Game in Vegas same time.
Vegas is on fire this weekend.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm hoping I pass my COVID test on Tuesday so I can actually go.
Well, if you study hard enough, you just might.
Yep.
That's right. You're M-Chuck. Don't cut corners.
I will
What's
not.
the plan for Daily Face-Off down there, Tyler?
So I get down there Wednesday. I think Scott Burnside and Mike McKenna are already there. They're just like roaring and ready to go. And then we're going to be doing a bunch of video, YouTube content. There's a media day there as well. So I'm hoping to track down Connor and Leon for something, but we'll see if that ends up coming to fruition.
Can you get them to say something like, hey, real life, your guys are wicked? Woo.
I don't think I'd be allowed to do that. I think I'd be allowed to like potentially interview them, ask them some questions.
Ask them if they listen to real life.
Mm-hmm. And then Thursday, Friday, we're doing the Daily Face-Off Show live from Las Vegas. And then I'm covering the skills comp Friday night, covering the the All-Star Game Saturday night, and then I leave on Sunday. And so this Thursday, you guys are going to have Quads and Faber from Canucks Army joining Real Life, correct?
Yeah, they're coming in studio.
I think Waz is going to be producing that one. And then, there we go.
There we go.
Are they going to be caught up in this whole Bruce Boudreau? We're really not that shitty. We just had some bad luck nonsense. You have to be nice to them here, Amchuk?
No, absolutely not.
No. It's a grilling. They're coming in.
I thought maybe it was like a coworker, everybody gets along type show.
Well, that's all like outside of the podcast, we can have a civil beer together. Fair.
Like when John Scott came on and told us we were all morons.
Yeah, but when the puck drops, the shin pads are on and you go hard.
Yep. Truth.
All right, there you go.
Before we go, I have to go pick up Wanye Jr. at school now. And my concern is this morning, I was the coolest guy he knew because I was one of two men on earth he was familiar with. Now he's probably fallen in with a bad crowd and shit. What should I do? Like bring him smokes when I pick him up? What do I do?
They can be used as currency, though, I think.
What's that?
They can be used as currency, that's for sure.
Well, I assume he's going to be in charge. Should I cede his enterprise?
Of course.
Chalmers, how do you pick your kids up from school and not embarrass them?
I drop them off at school. I don't pick them up.
It's not your job. Yep.
Not
thanks
my
for
job.
The help. Maybe I'll just wear all my Oilers jerseys at once. Then he'll know it's me.
This is what you do. You walk in.
That's what
you walk in and you get down
on
into like a bat catcher stance, like you are, and then you put your arms out wide. And if he runs at you and gives you a hug, then you know you're still number one.
He can't walk. He can scoot. He can scoot. Can he scoot over to me?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, he won't though. What if he's busy? What if he's learning? What if he knows how to speak English? What if he knows how to
then you just got
already?
your first dad life lesson there.
Maybe he learned how to mine Bitcoin today.
I think they teach that at schools now.
Oh no.
That's good.
What if he's got his own crypto?
No.
Yeah, he's already out buying NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Yep.
What if the teacher comes to you and is like, we've got to have a talk when all the other
I'm like,
leave?
damn right we do.
Yeah, we better.
What's
My
kids?
kid's
Everybody's
mining crypto.
ugly. I'll be like, you know what? I looked at your whole class. I'm not happy with the average looks here. These children are ugly, and I want better looking children for Wanye Jr. to associate with. That'll get me off the right foot.
All right. We're going to wrap up today's episode with our TradesLink hardest worker. If you don't know what TradesLink is, you clearly haven't been listening to the podcast recently. It's like LinkedIn, but for the trades, and it's an Edmonton thing. Check it out. Get TradesLink. Come on. Get with the program. TradesLink
hardest worker is Tyler Yaremchuk.
In what sense?
Your guts. They were working overtime. And I respect it.
I'm going to give my hardest worker to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who scored a vintage Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goal in that game against Montreal. Leg up, snapshot, low blocker, fist pump on the celly. Nuggy, you get my TradesLink hardest worker of the week.
Nuggy?
That's what Draisaitl called him that time.
Yeah.
Jay, cuff your Amchuk.
I'm going to go with my TradesLink hardest worker is a gentleman who is working that blue line super hard on the power play for us. One young Evan Bouchard.
Big bad Bouch. Gotta love it. Scored against Nashville.
Scoring goals.
When Barry comes back. You think he's just getting the hook as soon as Barry comes back?
He better not. He played a minute and a half of that power play against Montreal. So he better not get the hook.
Yeah.
Charles, Wanye, any hardest workers? Wanye Jr.
My hardest worker. Go ahead,
Charles. No, I insist.
Mine's definitely not hockey. I hope you know that.
Shocker.
Yep.
My hardest worker of the weekend was Joe Shiesty, Joey Burrow, taking the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl for the first time in long time.
Forever.
To correspond with that, my least hardest worker of the weekend, Jaqueski Tart.
Oh,
missing a wide open interception.
Least hardest working on is just rude.
Hey, you know what? He made a terrible play in the Rams 49ers game where he catches that ball 99 out of 100 times. An interception changes the course of the game, I'm sure. The man that Jaqueski Tart is, he showed up for he showed up for the press conference after. He faced the music. He's a real man.
Yeah,
he made a big mistake, and
that's hard work to go and face the media after that so soon after that happening.
I know. So technically, they're both my hardest workers, but I am really, really excited for this Super Bowl. I am really, really excited for the Cincinnati Bengals and their fans. I am not one of them. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, even though I would like to see them win this because they're playing against a team that is in my favorite team's division. So I'd clearly like them to win, but I'm not going to be somebody who has said I like Joey Burrow from the very beginning. I did not know much about him, but boy, oh boy, every single thing he does makes me like him a little bit more. So
I'm allowed to cheer for them because there is like their birthplace was from the Cleveland Browns. Paul Brown, their coach, went and founded the team in Cincinnati. So I'm allowed to cheer for him. But I also got a soft spot. I also have a soft spot.
Sure.
I also have a soft spot for Matt Stafford.
Yeah, how can you not?
Yeah, I know.
I do. So it's a good one. So I'm going to have a tough time betting on the game, but I'm going to bet the shit out of the props for that game.
Over on
the anthem. Always over on the anthem.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
Oh yeah. Always over on the
Who's
anthem.
singing it, by the way?
That's
Wanye,
what you got? Hardest worker? You got one?
Here's my hardest worker. Let me set the scene for you. You work at Hat Depot in Montreal and you're in the storeroom and the store manager says, see that hat in the edge there in the big box? And you go, yeah. No one's ever been able to sell that hunk of shit in 12 years at Hat Depot. It's a $14,000 cowboy hat. What kind of moron would buy that? That guy goes out on the floor and Carey Price walks in. That salesman's my hardest working guy in the game, I'll tell you.
All right.
Congratulations to whoever sold Carey Price that hat.
Oh,
you earned it.
Just watch Yellowstone.
Okay. We good?
Yeah, I guess.
I think we're good.
Feeling better?
Do you know what the early lines are for this Super Bowl?
Let me pull up our friends at PointsBet and see if they
just
have
did.
early lines up for the football. They do. It's going to be the LA Rams as 4-point favorites. And they're also minus 191 on the money line. The over-under is set at 48.5. My advice on betting the over-under would be to get in as quick as you can because average bettors are going to get in. Everyone takes the over because it's sexy and it's fun and it's a Super Bowl, big betting day. I would get the over now. I have a funny feeling it's going to end somewhere closer to like 52.
52. That's what I was just going to say.
Longtime Oilers trainer Barry Stafford in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Impressive
how he pivoted the way he did.
Yep. All right, we'll talk plenty of Super Bowl, plenty of Oilers. Hopefully they can match their longest winning streak of the year tonight. Halftime show's going to be sick.
That is.
We'll get to it all. All right. We're going to put a wrap on this. Shout out to the HGA group, DoorDash, Twig and Berries, Tourism Jasper, and the Fairmont JPL especially, and our friends at TradesLink. This has been episode 351 of the Real Life Podcast. We'll chat again soon.
I'm coming, Wanye Jr.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.
Recording stopped.